Good morning, Facebook friends and family. It's Miss Ellen in Gumby, which tells us it's probably time for a Gumby Chronicle. And as it turns out, I've chosen the day before, wait for it, Thanksgiving. I don't know, too many holidays that carry more gravitas, more weight, more, well, let's just put it out there, expectation than Thanksgiving. So I'm going to be real quick and real brief and just hit the main point first. The secret to tomorrow. The secret to enjoying tomorrow, whatever it may look like for you, is something you can tackle today if you'll do this. I want you to gather up every last one of them, gather them all up, gather up all of your expectations for Thanksgiving, and put them in a little sack, and put your little sack in a drawer where you can't see it anymore. 67 times around the sun. If I've learned anything, it's this. Expectations are the thief of joy. And most of my entire life, from the moment I was hatched, I have created worlds of expectation around every conceivable activity and event. I am a colorful person. If you think I have a large personality through this social media, you should live in my head. It's a technicolor extravaganza. I feel like when I saw Wicked, I had just come home. All the fantasy and color and imagination and larger than life characters, it was like, well, yeah, that's what I see all the time. It's a curse to have all that imagination and crazy going on in your brain, because I orchestrate and direct and plan wondrous events. Pity the poor people that had to be my first dates on the planet 1,000 years ago, when I thought they were supposed to be X, Y, Z. See, no one told me that dating was an opportunity to find out what you liked in people, what you didn't like in people. It was your opportunity to learn social skills. It was your opportunity to learn how to interact with another human in a more intimate situation than a group, crowd, etc. See, nobody told me that. So I just made up what dating was supposed to be in my head and created this laundry list of expectations. And I went on to carry that into marriage, into the workplace, into any event. I think in hindsight, it was my way of trying to establish control. If I could just imagine how the day was going to go and then create that reality, then it would all work out perfectly. And not once has that ever happened in my life, that things went the way I imagined they would. Which tells you about the capriciousness of life, or I have a really warped imagination, and both things can be true. But I learned, as a result of a total inability for a period of some 3 years to control anything. For 3 years solid, there was not one thing I could control. I learned. In spite of my lack of participation in orchestrating a result, the earth continued to turn on its axis and life went on. And I found out, even without as my friend Jenny Klein would say, prescripting it, even before I laid out in my mind and for all those around me's benefit how a certain activity was meant to go and will go and should go, devoid of all my participation, things turned out great. And I wondered why the sudden good fortune that throughout this period of laying down my expectations, things went so great. Ah, kids, there's a correlation. If you can go into a circumstance without a ton of expectations, for good or for bad, you won't be disappointed. Now, my father's belief growing up, my father had a double doctorate degree in pessimism. And there wasn't a situation or circumstances he couldn't predict would be horrible, awful, dire, ridiculous, painful. And he prepared himself for such. He fully expected the world to hurt him. He fully expected every encounter to be brutal. He carried himself accordingly. I've never figured out if he was disappointed when things turned out better than he thought. But we do that, don't we? We go into Thanksgiving worried about this relative or that relative or what they're going to be like or who's going to show up or what they're going to say or what they're going to be like because they always have been a certain way. And we're not really good at letting people just show up and change. So, I invite you to lower or pack up your expectations for tomorrow. Now, for many people, and it was for me for many years, I've had this experience. I've gotten to enjoy solitude on Thanksgiving. And I learned that if I don't have any big expectation as to what Thanksgiving's supposed to be, Thanksgiving solo can be quite delightful. You can spend it doing the things you love, in appreciation for those things you love and the fact that you get to do them. Like the intention, I suspect, of the holiday was to give us, keyword, an opportunity to be thankful. And for many of us, it's an opportunity to congregate with others. For some of us, not so much, but it's still an opportunity to be grateful. And if you need any assistance finding something in your life to be grateful for, I can give you a really brief, short list. But the air that you breathe is a great place to start. There's so much we take for granted. The roof over our heads. Ask anybody that survived the storms of earlier in the fall. There's so much to be grateful for. But we do set ourselves up with these unrealistic expectations of how people not only are going to behave, but should. And so I think we put our shoulds in a box and throw them right out. Put those right in the trash where they won't hurt anybody. Use the extra paper. I don't know what tomorrow holds for you. I know that for a lot of people, tomorrow's going to be really a hard day. That's not setting the expectation that it's going to be a hard day. I know there's circumstances, particularly my friends that are suffering physical health issues. These holidays can be really hard for people suffering illness. Or loss of a loved one, or loss of a relationship, or an estrangement, or a move, or a job loss. Holidays can be hard. Heck, Tuesdays can be hard, kids. But I think we make Tuesdays a little easier. We lighten our load considerably when we just don't have tremendous expectations of how things are going to be. And show up with a little bit of Sherlock Holmes, a little curiosity, a little wonderment. I think it's why children love the holidays so much. They have no expectations. They're like, cool! Everything's new and fresh and wondrous, and they didn't expect any of it. Everything's wondrous and a surprise. I think we get that opportunity every day to just see what's going to happen. I don't mean you just like go careening through life like, what happened? Where am I? That's not my point at all. I'm just saying the rigidity that comes with societal expectations citations and Madison Avenue advertisement that we're all going to congregate with exactly 20 people and a 40-pound bird and 20-pound bird. I don't know. 1 pound per person. I never figured it out. I don't even have a stove that works. Give me a break. I'd like to know tomorrow is an opportunity, if we get it, to be a light. We can show up wherever we show up tomorrow as a light. Whether you're going to an extravaganza, 18 people around a table, you and your mate, you and the dog, I don't know. We have an opportunity to show up and be our best self, or the closest version to that we can get to tomorrow, with no expectation that anyone's going to be or act or behave or do. People surprise you if we let them. If we let them. And we can surprise them too. Isn't that the coolest thing ever? Go be a light. It's your opportunity to shine. And remember, if tomorrow, the prescribed national holiday of Thanksgiving in the United States of America comes and goes, and you didn't celebrate in the prescribed way you thought you might, you're going to have another opportunity on Friday to go gather with the people you love. Or not. But every day we get a chance to be thankful. Every single day is an opportunity to be grateful. Woo! That'll teach. All right. On behalf of Gumby and I wish you the best, happiest, most joyful Thanksgiving. I hope you are surprised and delighted, and that you do, in turn, the same for others.